Tuesday, June 15th. So the moon is in Leo pretty much all day. Now he will begin the void of course journey around 2:28 p.m. and will eventually lock into Virgo energy, but it actually takes place in the wee hours Wednesday morning. So let's just say for the better part up until mid-afternoon, we are solid still in this Leo energy, fired up, excited, ready to go, new passions, new desires, adding a little bit of drama and spice to our realities. And then of course, once things go void of course, things become a little bit unstable. We're coming down off of that high. We're kind of, seeing things in a different realm. We're losing steam, basically. And so we have 7 different aspects taking place with the moon here today, all of them still very much in Leo energy. And we start off the day with the moon having a conversation with Mercury. So this is us kind of finding a common ground, a middle point, a center point between our heart and our head, which we haven't had in a very long time. Now, does that mean that we're totally going to agree, mind, body, and soul? No, not yet. But we're closer. We're bridging that gap. The gap is becoming smaller, and that's all we really need at this point, and that's all we really need to run with. So Mercury, again, still in his place of power in Gemini, but still very retrograde. This is kind of like an ebb and flow, going back and then coming back in the present moment, reflecting on the change and then bringing that change into the present moment. And that is how essentially we get our heart and our head to agree. Now, very early on in the day, we have the sun making an aspect with Chiron. Now, this is both, all energies have pros and cons to it, but we are coming down off of the major high that the moon in Leo has had us on. And the sun, of course, still in Gemini, trying to wrap up the lessons that the sun in Gemini wants us to learn before, of course, he wraps up his season and he moves on to Cancer. Still very divided in the mental plane. We're still asking questions. We're still kind of playing devil's advocate. We have one angel on one shoulder. We have the devil on the other shoulder. We are illuminated to the light. We are illuminated to the dark. And of course, Chiron, that wounded healer planetoid, wants to show us our wounds. So with the sun being, life force, the brightest light that we could ever have illuminate anything, is putting a lot of attention on our thinking, on our narrative, on what it is that we're pouring our attention into. And making this aspect with Chiron, this is likely going to illuminate the blockages that we still are holding on to in our mental plane. So yes, we have a question. We might not be able to find an answer to it. So we set up camp there. And we just sit in the confusion. Now, does that feel good? No. Do we have a lot more clarity than we did last week? Absolutely. So let's hold on to that and be grateful for that. But the sun in Gemini just wants to show us where some of the blockages, some of the problems still need solutions, still need a way forward. That's okay. We can deal with it. Just a little blip. So the moon goes ahead and aspects the true node. Now, I'm going to say that this is a good thing. However, we are losing steam here, right? We're still trying to stay positive and hopeful and fired up and excitable and all this kind of stuff, but we are losing steam because the moon is about to transition into another sign. But the moon in Leo making this aspect with the true node is still trying to kind of validate within us. We're repeating this new narrative. Yes, this is my new goal. Yes, this is my new dream. Yes, this is my new way forward. And the true node, of course, encouraging us to, take a baby step forward. Are we going to take a baby step forward? Likely not, but we're making progress in our heart space. We're making progress in our mental plane. We're reconciling the two. We're aligning the two. So we might not be seeing the physical baby steps being taken in our physical realities at this point, but we're sure as hell feeling the progress within us. So the moon goes ahead and has a conversation with Neptune. Just a reminder of the dream, of the vision, of the passion that we had yesterday. Just a reminder to listen to our higher selves, to listen to our inner voice, to listen to our intuition outside of all the chatter that's going on. And trust me, there's a lot of talk going on. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of misinformation going on, trying to sway us. Anytime we reach a new energy level, a new vibration, a new frequency, there will be darker forces trying to pull us back down to the old. into the past, into the stagnancy and paralysis of staying exactly where it is. Every single time we make one step forward, the universe is going to provide us with those evil forces to take us 2 steps back, and we are not going to allow that to happen. We've been through too much at this point. We've done too much work. We've poured too much energy into ourselves. We want to move forward. So we get this blast of energy, and the moon goes ahead and sextiles the sun. So the problems that were in our mental plane trying to illuminate where it is that we're still blocked earlier on in the day, suddenly now we're fired up and we're charged and we're being illuminated to those blockages, and our heart space is saying, you know what, doesn't matter. I trust in myself. I trust in the universe that there are going to be solutions provided to me to be able to kind of detour around some of the things, the mental blockages that you want me to get caught up on. I'm not having it. And so there's a new information, a new guiding light that comes in when we are powerful enough to stand in our vibration and trust our heart space and trust our soul space to lead the way. Our mental plane, because it is kind of egoic here, we're kind of attached to the egoic perspective, the egoic identity of our physical realms. The moon goes ahead and says, nah, you can talk all the trash that you want to talk. I'm not listening to your narrative. Not happening. I'm following my heart space. And from that, a new aha moment emerges. A new light gets illuminated on a path that we didn't see when we were allowing the negative narrative and the uncertainty and the insecurities and our fears have a say in our mental plane. We're not about that. We're moving forward. And so the moon goes ahead and makes an aspect with Pluto. Again, Pluto highlighting, are you ready to let go of the fears yet? Are you ready to let go of the insecurities yet? Are you ready to be vulnerable and stand in your power in a path of uncertainty in order to align with your soul's purpose? Are you ready to take your power back? And the moon in Leo is just a proud freaking lion right now. You know, damn right, I am ready. I am cutting the cord. I am moving away. I am following my heart because I am the leader of this pack, and I am going to get what I want. All right, so we're high vibing here. The moon goes ahead and has another conversation with Chiron and says, yeah, no, I totally understand why you want me to be scared. I totally understand why you want me to focus on my wounds. I totally understand why you want my insecurities, my fears, my vulnerabilities to be highlighted right now. But at the same time, I am willing to do what it takes to heal those wounds, those suckers up for good. I want to close the door and nail this effort shut because I don't want to go back to that. I've made too much progress. I'm way too confident right now. My heart and my soul are so on fire right now that I am not snuffing those flames out to go back and sit in a cave and lick my wounds. I'm not willing to step down from leading the pack of this jungle. I'm not willing to sacrifice my wants, needs, and desires. I am not willing to give up the power in which I just reclaimed. So then Mercury makes an aspect with Mars. So Mercury in Gemini, right? Very divided, reflecting back, seeing the, previous past that were illuminated to us, the opportunities that we were too afraid to take, the information that we wanted to kind of turn ourselves the other way and avoid. Mercury now making this aspect with Mars in Leo, ready to fire things up, to blaze a path forward, to go after what it is that he wants, to really light a brand new path of fire forward. So Mercury making this aspect with Mars, of course, our mental plane is still very confused. We don't have all the answers. We don't have logic. We don't have practicality. Does that matter at this point? Absolutely not. Our heart space and our soul space are on fire, and Mars, the god of war, leading the way with his sword, swinging and cutting through anything and anyone that stands in our way. Negative Nancy does not stand a chance with Mars in Leo because we are so firm in our power moving forward that we will not get hooked up on blockages, on obstacles. And then the moon makes an aspect with Mercury, wrapping up the day's energy. And the moon in Leo, very, very much kind of losing its energy. Again, we're shifting into Virgo energy early Wednesday morning. So we are kind of losing that vibe. We had a mental and war of the heart. We are kind of, losing our steam. However, the moon in Leo makes an aspect with Mercury and says, you know what? It's okay. We're choosing this path. You're going to have to reconcile in your head that it doesn't make sense, that it doesn't make practical, logical sense to you. It doesn't need to make practical and logical sense because I trust in a higher source. I trust in my higher self. I trust in the universe to guide me to what it is that my soul wants, needs, and desires. And I am not going to let any kind of mental blockage prevent me from pursuing this new path. What a way to end the day.